Alright guys, what's up? Day 114. It is the last day here on the TransAmerica Bicycle Trail. Just 30 miles to go till Yorktown. I am so pumped here. I can't believe this is the last day. Really excited. Pretty sad too that it's gonna be over, but I'm just really proud of myself for making it here. But yeah, so I camped here last night under this shelter, pulled in real late, couldn't find the campground, so I just popped my tent up here. Sheriff pulled up in the parking lot back here at like, I don't know, 11 p.m. I was just sitting at the tables and he was just sitting there looking at me, I guess, and then he just left. So I guess it wasn't a problem to camp here, or maybe he just didn't want to deal with it, but yeah, maybe I just got lucky here. But I had outlets, I had bathroom, so not a bad place to sleep for the last night. So yeah, like I said, 30 miles to go today. Should be a nice day. It's supposed to rain starting at like 2, so I'm gonna try and finish before then. And yeah, so I'm gonna start taking down camp here. I wanna show you guys the hardest part of every morning. Alright guys, honestly, I can't believe I made it here. Like, there were so many days in Oregon where I didn't even think I was gonna make it out of Oregon. Like, it was so hard in the beginning. I was in the worst shape of my life, physically. But I just kept telling myself it was gonna get better, it was gonna get better. And it really did. Like, after about 3 or 4 weeks, something just clicked and it started getting easier and I started having a better time. And you know, I just want to say, if this looks appealing to you and you want to do this, then just do it. You can absolutely do it if you're in just moderately decent shape. If you have time to train, but if you don't, just give yourself enough time and hit the road, because that's what I did. And you know, I wouldn't change a thing. Best summer of my life. And yeah, if you're on the TransAmerica and you're having a rough start, just know that it will get better. And as long as you're determined, as long as you keep telling yourself you can do it, then you absolutely can do it. Another thing is, if you don't have any cycling experience, you know, don't worry about that. I didn't have any cycling experience before this. The only time I would ever ride my bike was, you know, like 2 miles to class and 2 miles back. I never rode my bike more than 30 miles before this trip. And so I just want to say, like, that if you don't have any cycling experience, don't let that stop you from doing this. You know, it's just going to be a tougher adjustment those first couple weeks, like it was for me. But all you need is a bike and the determination. That's really all you need. And it'll be really tough, but it'll be 100% worth it, I promise. Just thinking back to the Oregon coast really seems like forever ago. I mean, it doesn't even feel like the same trip here. Then Cascades are so beautiful. Mackenzie Pass especially, that was a highlight of the trip. Then the high desert of Oregon is just beautiful. Idaho, dense forests, rushing rivers. Idaho really was one of my favorite states. Montana, beautiful mountains in Montana. The ride from Virginia City to Ennis was a real short one that day, but still one of my favorites, just with the views and the descent down into Ennis from top of Mountain Pass. Then of course Wyoming, Yellowstone, Tetons, both highlights of the trip. Yellowstone especially, with my brother and friends coming out to join me. Spent about a week there, and then another day in the Tetons. Colorado, goes without saying, beautiful state. The ride from Silverthorne to Breckenridge was especially beautiful. And then climb up to Hoosier Pass, the highest point on the trail. Another highlight of the trip. And then Kansas, flat old Kansas. Kansas was interesting, got a 100-mile day in there. That was a goal I had for this trip. A lot of really early starts, incredibly hot days. Just remember going to sleep in my tent and it was 90 degrees out. It was awful, but Kansas as a whole was pretty nice. Peaceful, good drivers. I liked Kansas. Missouri, on the other hand, pretty bad drivers, brutal hills, but it prepared me for the Appalachians, that's for sure. And there were still pretty scenic rivers through the Ozarks, clear water, go for a dip in. Missouri wasn't all bad. Illinois was short-lived, more hills. And Kentucky, if you've been following along, I don't have much to say about Kentucky, but when there wasn't garbage or dog chases, there were some very beautiful parts of Kentucky, especially after Berea. So it wasn't all bad. And Virginia, I have absolutely loved Virginia. Virginia has been beautiful, one of my favorite states. Blue Ridge Parkway, absolutely amazing. And even outside of the parkway, just Virginia as a whole has been really nice. The forests, the hills, and now this awesome bike path here leading me to the finish. And we're gonna go through some historic towns up here in a little bit, so this should be pretty cool. Couldn't have asked for a better trail to ride my bike across the country on, truly. All right, just left Williamsburg, had breakfast there with my mom and brother, and got just 10 miles left. This is the Colonial Parkway, pretty low traffic and no commercial vehicles allowed, so it's pretty nice. All right, guys, so that's going to be it for the TransAmerica 2021. I really appreciate everyone following along. It made the journey just a little bit better. So to everyone who's been following along, thank you. This definitely will not be my last bike trip. I'm thinking about Pacific Coast or Western Express, or maybe even the western half of the Trans Am again, in 2 summers. So after I graduate, that should be a good time to take a nice long bike trip. I'll have a couple months there before I start working. And next summer, I'm definitely going to be doing RAGBRAI, which is a big bike ride across Iowa. So if you're interested in that, or if you're interested in my future bike tours, please subscribe. And then also, now that I'm home, I'm going to be uploading videos from the first 83 days from Oregon up through Illinois. So stay tuned for those. I'll probably do like day 1 through 10, day 11 through 20, stuff like that. Because I have a ton of great footage from out west, and it was just so beautiful. So make sure you check those out in the coming weeks here. Probably also put up a video like top 5 favorite places, maybe frequently asked questions of the Trans Am. So if you have questions, throw those in the comments. And then maybe like a review on my Trek 520, which I think's a great touring bike, and I recommend for the Trans Am if you're thinking about getting a bike. But anyway, stay tuned for those videos. They should be up shortly, and I really hope you guys follow along on my next bike trip. All right, so I just want to end this video by saying, you know, everyone always asks, like, what's your favorite part? What's the best part of the Trans Am? And, you know, it really is the people. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone I met, all the Warm Showers hosts who, you know, let me stay in their house, all the cyclists I met, all the locals I met. If we cross paths, then thank you for making this trip what it was. I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you so much for following along, and please subscribe for future trips.